This past spring, I studied abroad in Valparaiso, Chile, a bustling port city known for its busy pedestrian streets laden with color, graffiti, and street art. And because of this, many well-known street artists have created works upon the city walls. I'm an art major and an artist myself, but other than a group mural I helped paint the previous summer in Mexico, I was a newbie to street art. Nevertheless, I headed off to study abroad in Chile with one no negotiations goal for myself. If I did nothing else, I wanted to create art. And if some of it could remain a part of the city after I left, all the better. Upon my arrival, I was so busy soaking up everything: my host family, new friends, the nightlife, all of my new classes and obligations. So I basically put art on the back burner. Sure, I created a few pieces here and there for class assignments or when I had free time. But it was only when I had a little over 9 weeks left in Chile, around the halfway point, that I got serious about my to-do list. Thanks to the friends I had made at one of my host universities, I was connected to a guy around my age who had a lot of experience with street art and graffiti. Completely trusting that this friend of a friend would be a great help in my goal realization, I arranged to meet up with him. This boy, Nemi, and I talked about art as we took a bus to his neighborhood, gathered his spray paint supplies, and took to the streets in search of a good wall to work on. We found a suitable spot and knocked on the door of the home just to get permission to paint on their wall. They gave us their blessing, provided it wasn't ugly, obscene, or common graffiti. I had no plan and thought I would go with portraiture, which I love best, so I used Nemi's face as just something to work off of. The final image was a simple one, as it was literally my first time holding a spray paint can, and it was harder to maneuver than it looked. Although I thought the image was too basic, I was still overjoyed to have something to show for myself. I had taken my sweet time, but finally, I'd taken care of my number one goal. I was doing something I could put my name on. I went home that day very, very happy. A month or so later, I met up with Nemi again, and we took an ascensor, or funicular, up the mountainside towards Paseo Atkinson, which is a popular walkway in the tourist area of Cerro Concepcion. The street leading down from this touristy walkway was blocked off for construction, and it had open spaces on its walls. I had done an alter ego self-portrait back in freshman year of college that presented my hair as octopus tentacles, and for lack of better idea, I tried to recreate this image on the walls of Cerro Concepcion. The idea of leaving my own face, a self-portrait, behind on this wall in a popular part of the city that I had fallen in love with all semester was better than anything I could have ever imagined. So I got to work, with help from Nemi, in filling in some of the large flesh tone areas. First, while I worked, people stopped by and peeked to see my progress. I had gotten permission from the owners of the house this time as well, so even the homeowners were pleased with my artistic addition to their property. I loved signing my name below it. I was excited by the way it had turned out. Quite different than my original image, but still representative of me. Bold, personality-filled, colorful appearance. During my last weeks, and even after I'd left the country, my Chilean friends and host parents sent me pictures as they passed my self-portrait. I felt a thrill to see how many people it had reached, just by being placed in a prominent location. Most recently, I was pleasantly surprised to receive a photo of it as it is now, 3 months after I made it. Sometime in the past few weeks, an artist came along and painted the area to the left and right of my art. Not only did they add theirs, they changed mine. If it had been a disrespectful addition, I wouldn't feel the way I do, but they added polka dots around mine, appearing to tie my art and their art together and unify them. It's an additional pop of color, which I think makes the whole street corner look a lot more exciting and vibrant, even more so now than the way I left it. Remix culture is all around us, and in many cases it's beautiful and brings people together. All in all, it was amazing to be able to bring art out of the classroom, out of a sketchbook, and into a different country and cultural context.